All right, 5 corrective exercises for better body posture. So the following exercises are not only to fix muscle imbalances and bad posture, but also to prevent them. If you have the tendency to roll your shoulders forward, or maybe you arch your back a little bit, or in general, you simply have bad posture, then this video is for you. The first exercise is to reverse the anterior pelvic tilt. This is what happens when there's an imbalance in your glutes, your hamstrings, and your quads. And what happens is that your pelvic tilts, so you look kind of pregnant even when your body fat is not that high. Now, in order to get this pelvic back in position and to get your body aligned, the hip thrust is a perfect exercise. So if you're at home and don't have any equipment at hand, you can do this simple exercise. You lay on the ground, place your feet shoulder width apart, and then you press the hips up as high as possible. And what you notice now is that your glutes are engaged. So really push the hips up until the body is aligned. Also core is engaged, right? Then you go back down and up again. Relatively simple. If you're in the gym, I would actually use some extra weight like a dumbbell or a barbell. I also use a bench, it gives me a bigger range of motion. On this bench I place my upper back and my shoulders, just like that. And then it's basically the same motion. I go back, I press my hips up, I squeeze my glutes at the top, go back down again, up. Now this exercise should be part of any training routine. It helps with your body alignment and it builds a pretty nice backside as a side effect. The second exercise is to prevent and fix rolled shoulders. There's usually 2 causes that lead to these rolled shoulders. Number 1, if you sit at the desk in front of the computer for 8 hours a day and you don't pay attention to your posture, this is going to happen, and over time your body gets used to it and stays in this position. And then the second cause is if you work out a lot and your pushing movements are much better than your pulling movements, or in other words, you do much more for your chest and the shoulders than for your back and your rear delts, this can also happen. So also to athletes, right? If that's the case for you, then obviously you need to integrate more exercises for the back and the rear delts. And now I'm going to show you an exercise that is specifically to revert that, to bring that shoulders back. It looks like that. So here we have a variation you can do at home. All you need is like a band, just like this one. Then you stand upright, hold the band in front of you, and then you pull it apart. Just like that, and then back into original position. Then again, back. The goal here is to strengthen the rear delt, so the backside here of the shoulders, so it gets stronger, pulls back the shoulders, and that you get over time in better position. In the gym, you can mimic that with 2 dumbbells. Now you bend over, hope you can see me, you bend over just like that, and then it's the same movement. You do the work with your rear delts. So this is not like, you know, a row or anything, but literally you pull the weight outside, trying to feel the rear side of your shoulders. All right. After this exercise, this is the muscle you want it to feel in for good posture. And again, aesthetically, if you have good rear delts, it just looks very nice in my opinion. Next up, we have an exercise that is actually for both the shoulders and the back, especially the lower back. It's for those who lift regularly, because if you work out, if you lift weights, let's say you do a shoulder press or you squat, you kind of compress your body, right? Now we need to do the opposite, like decompressing. How we do that is by hanging onto a bar. And what I mean is literally hanging without trying to do pull-ups, without trying to do anything really. It's a bit uncomfortable. You might feel it in your shoulders, you might feel it in your lower back a little bit, and that's okay. That means those positions are getting stretched, and this is actually what we want. Decompress. You can actually shift a little bit the weight from one side to the other, see how that feels, really loosen up those muscles. But again, no pulling, no force involved, just simply hang at the bar. It's that easy. Next up, we have an exercise to strengthen our core and to get those abdominals stronger. It's a great exercise also for those who have lower back pain, because so often it's not actually a problem in the lower back itself, but more like that your core is not strong enough. Now to fix that, I'm going to demonstrate an exercise. Lay on the ground, limbs all up in the air, just like that. And then you extend one arm back in position, other arm back in position, one leg back in position, other leg back in position. You can also do one arm and one leg at the same time, like this. Also requires some coordination. The lower back, actually the entire back, remains on the floor throughout the entire exercise. Try to do that slow and controlled, 10 repetitions each side. That's a good place to start. All right, fifth and last exercise is to challenge our flexibility, specifically hip flexibility and ankle mobility. It's a deep squat. So you stand a little bit more than shoulder width apart, and then you go down as deep as possible. And you might feel discomfort in your ankles, you might feel the stretch in your quads. That's totally fine. Try to stay upright. Also keep in mind that the entire foot is on the ground. So not like this, all right? Entire foot on the ground. And then we just stay in this position for like 30 seconds or 1 minute. The cool thing about this, you can actually have your mobile phone in your hand, and now I can scroll or see what's on the program for today. Personally, I couldn't be in this position until maybe half a year ago. Then I integrated those as part of my warm-up, and I feel much more loose in my lower body, and my squat improved tremendously. So I highly recommend you doing those. All right, these were the 5 exercises, and what you probably noticed is that those are regular exercises that you should be doing already. If these 5 exercises, like the hip thrust, like hanging, like squatting, like reverse flies, if you don't do these right now, if they're not part of your routine, then change your training program. Now, if you have an issue with your lower back or your shoulders, if they're clicking or you think they're not as healthy as they should be, then you can incorporate some more of those specific exercises. I would add some more hanging, maybe in front of my workout or as part of my stretching, until my shoulders feel good again, and then maybe just reduce it to once a week or whatever. Now, if this video was helpful, then please do me a favor, click that thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel. This will be a priority of mine this year to grow my channel. And if you subscribe, you help me achieve that goal. So thanks for your support and hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.